What it dooski YouTube, it's your boy Mind Malcolm checking back in, and I'm not gonna lie to you for 1 second. There's no cap in what I'm about to say. This is easily one of my most excited releases I'm looking forward to talking to you about. And if you can tell by the box already, this shoe is gonna be a problem. If you're watching this video, I do have some bad news for you up front. You may not be able to get hands on it because it's already released on February 15th with a retail price of $265. You have any guesses on what it is? The title probably gives it away, honestly, but I did want to give you a closer look at the Air Jordan 1 in the Retro 85 silhouette in the neutral gray colorway. This is fire, man. Woo! Let's get into it. All right, so starting with the box, a couple of things I do want to touch base on because I know that on this channel, we do go over a bunch of Jordan 1 silhouettes, but there's been 3 iterations of this 85 silhouette or 85 cut, if you want to call it like that, with this being the latest. The first one actually released back in February of 2020. That was part of the New Beginnings pack, which was the white and red colorway, which also released alongside the Airship. The second one was the Bread Alternative colorway, which is black and red. Same cut, just different colors, but this is definitely the most plain, obviously, but it has the biggest nostalgia factor for me because I was born in 95, so I really didn't get to see the first iteration of these shoes, but the 85 cut, I like it. I like it a lot. When it comes to the box, they actually opted to reverse the usual colorways that you and I are used to. So instead of a red font on the top, they opted for a black Nike hit with the red box all around. And if I was to pull off the paper, there is a lot going on here. They have the Jumpman logo and the Wings logo and a 23 on the actual paper. And both of the shoes are individually wrapped. So if you're an ASMR fan, I got you. But if you're not, let's get right to the shoes. And this is just really a masterpiece. Like, excuse me for the paper, but these are just crazy, man. And in hand, I can just tell the materials are definitely different. They definitely feel a lot more rigid. I guess that's kind of like the leather quality, and it is a smooth leather upper. They do have this cool Jumpman book too with a little instructional on the materials used in the shoe. But let's take a closer look, enough of the small talk. So when it comes to this Jordan 5 silhouette, the reason why there's so much hype behind it is because this has been the first time the shoe's been retroed in over 30 years. Last time it came out was 1985, obviously because of the namesake. So it's actually been 36 years to be exact. And if my math ain't wrong, don't let me know in the comments because I'm not in school anymore. That's kind of hazy, man. But when it comes to the overall look, the aesthetic, the just presentation in general, they really knocked it out of the park with giving it that authentic feel. And I do want to break down materials as per usual, the sizing because it is a little bit different given the change in the silhouette, as well as the nitty-gritty details that separate this just from your everyday Air Jordan 1. So in terms of details, let's just start out at the bottom. They opted to give you a all gray outsole with the normal Nike hit in the middle and the branding all around. And that's complemented by a white midsole. And one thing you're gonna notice on the midsole is actually the traction pattern alongside is a lot more aggressive than what you're gonna see on your normal Air Jordan 1. And if you take a closer look here in the middle of the midsole, it's kind of a raised divot, I would call it. So on the usual Air Jordan 1 silhouettes, this tends to be flatter, but apparently on the 85 model, this is how it actually looked. There's kind of like that raise or that kind of abbreviation, if you will, on the midsole, really breaking it up and leading to that smooth white leather upper with the gray suede hit and the swoosh, in addition to the embossed Wings logo right above on the ankle counter. And this is cool too. It's usually debossed on most Jordan 1s, but they chose to emboss it and paint over it in gray. So this is just a very, very good looking shoe. There's also the suede hit right on the ankle as well. And then towards the back of the shoe, they opted just for the plain white leather upper, really finishing it off. So the details on the shoe are minimal, I'll be honest with you. When it comes to the nitty gritty stuff like the toe box, they opted for the smooth white leather as per usual with the perforations. One thing I want to tell you in terms of sizing, honestly, is that you could get away with kind of sizing up just because of the way the tongue actually sits, and you can tell right away it's really exaggerated. The camera's probably picking that up nice too. Just the main part of the toe right here is actually a little bit tighter. So for someone like me, I do not have a wide foot. So these are 10.5, this is my pair, and they fit fine. But if you're in between sizes, you could size up, but the only thing you're gonna run into is that it may be a little bit longer, just based on how the shoe's actually fitting compared to a Jordan 1. So something to keep in mind for sure. And then moving on to the laces, they opted to give you 2 lace choices. The first one being this actual white. They opted also for a gray pair. For me, I'm gonna keep the white in just because I think it looks cleaner. And full transparency, if you put the gray pair in, the contrast isn't that different. So if you're trying to keep your laces clean because the shoe's already all white, gray's the best bet for sure. Moving on to the tongue, they actually opted to give you a nylon tongue as per usual, with the white and gray Nike tag on the top of the tongue. And if you take a close look at this, it is a little bit different. The subtle differences make the biggest difference. Ironic, I know. But they opted to go with the 85 branding on that. And I think it's really cool homage to what it used to look like. Today's models look a little bit different, and in terms of what I like, I do like the Air Jordan 1 silhouette, but this is a cool, it's a cool different look at it. Moving on to the inside of the shoe, they opted to give it gray guts with a couple of details coming with that. You're gonna see obviously a size, 10.5 for me. There's also a SKU there. I think that's a production date. And there's the letters XC. So I'm not completely sure what that is. I know that for Jordan 1s, they tend to put the kind of sizing details on the inside of the shoe there, as well as the usual size tag. So if you know what that XC means, maybe it's some type of kind of manufacturing thing, feel free to let me know in the comments. I know there's some OG Jordan heads out there watching this video. And when it comes to the insole, it is white and gray. They do give you a cool Jumpman 85 Jordan sticker, which has the sizing, the release, and everything you would get back in the day. So a cool nostalgia piece. And if you were to remove that sticker, it's the usual Nike Air branding in gray. So all in all, this is a great shoe. I did want to talk about one thing specifically, which is the materials. So full transparency, this shoe looks beautiful, but it is a cinder block on foot. I tried it on just for an on-foot portion of it, and this is the type of material where you're gonna have to wear in. I know that on the latest Jordan 1 models, it's more of that plush there, which is smooth to the touch. Well, if you can see by this is kind of stiffer, and it's not to say that it's lacking quality. It's just that I think when the 85 releases came out, this was the type of thing that was used on court for more durability and more actual torsion control when you're playing ball in it, versus a lifestyle model, which is gonna be more your walking everyday type of activity. So that's the one thing to keep in mind. They're not that comfortable off the rip, but I know that once I break them in and once I actually wear them, it's winter here yet, so that's not gonna be for a minute, but nevertheless, they're gonna be great. They're gonna be definitely one of my daily beaters. And I'll give you an update if you want in 6 months. Let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to kind of touch base on this shoe as the months go on. And if the hype dies down, maybe we can get a pair too. And the last thing I want to bring your attention to was this Jumpman card. Little accessories go a long way, so it does have Michael Jordan on the front of it, and it breaks down the actual materials used in the Air Jordan 1. So for all you collectors out there, it's just another thing to add to your list, and it really seals the deal on this 85 release. So with that being said, I know I threw a lot of information at you today, and I know it's a shoe that you've seen time and time again, especially in 2020, and 2021 is not going to be any different, but this is truly something special. And I think that from watching this video, you can see that the subtle differences go a long way. But I'm interested to know, what do you think? Do you think the 85 model reigns supreme and it's warranted with the hype? Or do you think they should just stick to the game plan and release the Jordan 1s as per usual? Let me know in the comments below. But more importantly, the shoe already came out. So everybody who got a dub for retail, everybody who got it at retail, or everybody who has it in general, let me know in the chats. I want to see some big dubs in the chat. And that's about it really. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And as per usual, I love the engagement on the channel you guys are giving. If you want to stay in the loop with everything streetwear, sneaker related, and everything in between, obviously make sure to follow Nrml on all social channels, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, because you'll find me here. Smash that like button. It's your boy, Malcolm, checking out. Appreciate all the love as per usual, and I'll catch you in the next one. Deuces.